Hi everyone, Dustin here at Council Gun Club at Osprey Training Facility. Here to give you a couple minutes of my time to improve your handgun shooting. For me, it's 90% grip, okay? Not perfect trigger pull, not a perfect sight picture every time. Yes, I generally want to have a consistent, repeatable trigger pull. I want to take some slack out of the trigger, prep the trigger a little bit. I generally want my front sight where I need it to be, generally in the back notch and on the target. Dot placement, generally where I need to hit on the target if you're shooting with a dot. But I don't overemphasize any of that. I don't overemphasize any of that in my classes and courses. For me, it's all symmetrical, repeatable, consistent grip pressure and placement. What we're looking for with grip pressure and placement is keeping that support hand as high as we can on the gun, super high up on the gun. If I take away my firing hand, you can see there's almost no grip showing left at the top of the gun. And a symmetrical clamp, like a vice grip into the gun. I'm generating that a little bit from my delts, triceps, forearms, wrist, all the way into the gun. I'm not over gripping with my hands front to back or anything like that. I'm using all this to kind of press into the gun. The analogy I like to give when I'm teaching is if I handed you a 45-pound weight in the gym and turned it sideways and said I was going to give you $50 for every 1 second that you can just put the meat of your hand into that plate and hold it there in front of you. Think about how much pressure you would try to generate inward on that plate to hold it there steady to get that $50 per second I'm giving you. That's kind of what I'm looking at with the handgun. Again, generally relaxed with my right hand, a little bit more of a clamp with my left hand, but most of it is generating from here. If you let that left hand get low and lazy in the gun and let that muscle structure in the left kind of drop under the gun and get low and lazy, you're not going to shoot well at any kind of realistic on-demand speed. So what I'm looking for right here, you can see how much in line that wrist, forearm, and thumb is with the barrel of the gun. It's kind of all going straight. If I start getting super low down here, and you can see my wrist and thumb and forearm are kind of 45 degrees to the ground now, you're not going to shoot well no matter what, because you're not symmetrical on the gun anymore. It's not going to track well under recoil. And when you know that you're not high on the gun, when you know you're not symmetrical, and you get low and lazy with that left side, your mind knows it and your firing hand knows it, and you're going to start over gripping with that firing hand. And that's when the low left push starts to happen with right-handed shooters and opposite with left-handed shooters, okay? We're not talking about bullseye shooting here. We're talking about getting rapid, instinctive engagements on the torso of a real threat, or getting 90 to 95% A hits or down 0 hits in a competition on a cardboard silhouette. So it's all in the grip. And this is how I rehearse it. I will work this drill dry. I'll triple check my gun, and I'll take the draw out of the equation from now, because I don't want anything with the draw to influence how I rehearse my grip to begin with. I will work this right here a couple hundred times, a few times a week leading up to a match I actually care about or a competition. I'll start here like I ran up into a position or ran up to a piece of cover. I'll connect with the gun early, usually touching the other side of the trigger guard first, roll that hand high into the gun. As I'm starting to feel that grip pressure get symmetrical and in on the gun, I'm touching the trigger and my dot is stopping exactly where I want to hit in that target. I'll come back. I don't drop the hammer or striker on every one. Sometimes I just prep it to the wall. I take all the take up out of the trigger, so I'm not spending my whole dry fire session racking the slide. And I look for any inefficiencies in what I'm doing here, okay? If that one felt good, that one felt good. Now, say I have one when I connect with the gun a little bit late, so my right hand knows that my left hand isn't there yet. I'm starting to over grip with my right hand. This left hand connects late. It doesn't really do anything, pulls the gun down, and that's going to cause the issue. So I reference that and say, what caused that? Okay, I need to really emphasize connecting on the connecting with the gun a little bit earlier on the next few reps. Connect earlier, get out, straight out, okay? Connect earlier, get out, straight out. My gun is driving straight into the threat or target. I'm not coming up from down here. I'm not casting in here. It's kind of driving straight into it. So 100 reps like that, disconnected from the gun, establishing that grip, and having everything happen in sync. No hot spots or gaps in the grip. So gaps in the grip means like, hey, your thumb got too low, it disconnected your support hand, you have a big gap in the grip, your support hand isn't connected with the left side of the gun. That is a gap. A hot spot is just like a high pressure point where it shouldn't be. So that same thing could happen. I feel a lot of pressure in that thumb's in the way, creating a hot spot in the gun, something's not right. 360-degree contact with the gun, no hot spots, and even pressure going into the gun is what we're looking for. So I'll do at least 100 reps when I'm disconnected from the gun, getting everything to happen repeatedly, consistently, symmetrically. And I'll do at least 100 reps when I'm already indexed on the gun, okay? So I'm already indexed on the gun and driving it out here. I'm looking for all the same things. When I'm moving more than 4 or 5 steps and I can gain momentum, I'm generally just running disconnected from the gun and driving in. So that's why I rehearsed that first method. When I'm only moving 2 or 3 steps, I'm kind of staying indexed on the gun, but I'm not trying to keep my grip locked in the whole time. So that's why I rehearse that second one when I'm kind of indexed and just coming straight out. So when I've done at least 100 reps at each of those, then I'll start doing a little bit of draws. You know, I'll only do a couple dozen draws, and I'll look for that same grip pressure, same motion at the end that I rehearsed from up here. So now I'm getting both my hands moving simultaneously to the gun and looking for the same thing. That one felt good. That one felt good. Now say I get a draw when my left hand kind of got lazy and caught up with the gun late, and I kind of ripped it down and I overgripped with my right hand. What caused that? Maybe my hands didn't move symmetrically to the gun, maybe my hand disconnected late, or both. So let's get them both moving together to the gun, directly to the gun, and get connected a little bit earlier. All right? The point is, if you have any inefficiencies or inconsistencies coming from here, or from here, or from here, you're kind of wasting your time out in the range just punching holes in paper or running drills thinking that's going to level you up. If you don't have proper placement and grip pressure on the handgun, you can fix a lot of that through a good class or course, and then dry firing on your own, the grip work, the grip strength work, the repetitions, rehearsing the movement that leads up to the shot. Again, your trigger pull does not have to be perfect for most types of shooting that we all actually care about. General sight alignment is usually good enough for most targets. Again, if I am having issues with how I am shooting one day or how someone I'm coaching is shooting, I will actually try to get their mind off of what a lot of other instructors articulate. I'll say just look through your front sight, look through your dot, try not to think about the trigger pull, so opposite of what most instructors emphasize. I'll say stay confident, stay symmetrical in the grip, clamp in, use some of this structure right here, look through that front sight or through that dot, stay locked into the grip, don't think about it, let the shot happen, and that will make you a better shooter. Hopefully that helped a lot of you out, and again, I want to end with saying, I'm not saying trigger pull, sight alignment, dot placement is not important, but we're not out here bullseye shooting, we're not shooting the same type of target from the same distance, from the same position at the same cadence all the time. We're trying to keep 90 to 95% of our shots in an area like this, 5 to 25 to 30 meters, and making that happen rapidly, instinctively, and on demand. And for me, most of that comes down to proper grip placement and proper grip pressure, and rehearsing that hundreds and hundreds of times.